your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
What's going on, family? We in here. How's everybody
What's
doing?
good? What's good? What's good?
Everything was muted up for a minute, man. I got my
Yeah.
man, the passport model, on the show today, and we're going to talk about a country that people rarely talk about in the aspects of tourism. You do have a few content creators that speak on Nigeria. I want to give a shout out to my man Donis Amir. He's in Atlanta. He goes a lot to Nigeria and everything like that. But we don't hear a lot of information about Nigeria, and some of the content that we see back in America is that it's a little sketchy over there. It's messed up over there in Nigeria. It's a crazy country. You got big content creators like Indigo Traveler, and I'm gonna show some of his stuff in a moment. Saying Nigeria is very dangerous and very poor, but you decided to actually move over there, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yes. I moved December 2022. Before I moved, I actually visited every year. When I traveled to a country, I made sure I made a stop in Nigeria. Just wanted to see if Africa was a place I wanted to move to. Uh, of course, we all know what's going on in the Matrix. I lived
Okay.
in South Beach. I'm from South Beach, so whatever you want to see, all your baby mamas coming to vacation. I was right. I lived right on the beach. I saw everything. So I
Now,
figured
are you originally from Florida? Is that where you originally from?
I was born in Texas, lived in Chicago for a while, then moved to
Okay.
Miami. Yeah.
Okay. So you fully Black American, basically. You're not.
My parents are Nigerian, but I never really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my parents are Nigerian, so I
Okay.
just wanted to kind of connect. It wasn't my first choice to move, but after a
Hmm.
couple of visits, I started to understand the culture, try to leave the bias behind, try to learn that to be a passport bro, you have to be open-minded, or else you're
Hmm.
gonna take some of this stuff that they're selling us and prevented us from, breaking out of this slavery mindset, of
Okay.
you know pi- pigeonholing and just crabs in a bucket, just everybody just like
Hmm.
saying the same things, going to the same places like
Hmm.
Medellin and all these other places, to actually spread out and actually see, okay, do I actually want to live in Africa? I've been to 15 countries, so it was my choice at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So, but you have a pretty much a African family. Do you think that made you a little biased to move to Africa?
Yes and no. I had three places that I was gonna move to before Nigeria. The
Hmm.
first one was Spain. I was gonna move to Spain 2019. I actually got an apartment in Barcelona. I stopped
Okay.
that after before COVID, and then I chose Portugal. I got the visa, and I was gonna get an apartment. I decided not to move there, and then I switched it up um, to Mexico City, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go back. So yeah, it played a big part. Um, it played a big part in moving to Africa. But I'm an American citizen, so anything any obstacles that you might face if you want to visit, I face the same thing because they look at me as an American. They don't see me as an African. Just my name. So it was easier for me to do that. I will confess. Yeah.
Okay. So before we get to the transition to Africa, you having African parents, I know that we hear that sometimes parents from either Asia, Africa, they'll kind of rear their children to be like, "Don't mess with them." You're still African or something like that. Did you get that growing up a little bit? Like, hey, you're American, but don't really rock with the Black Americans like that.
Yeah, my dad lived in the States in the 60s and 70s and 80s before he
Mm,
moved to Nigeria. So he was telling us, you
mm,
guys got to be careful. Make sure you come back and marry a Nigerian. Don't marry an American.
mm.
Blah blah blah. And we all ignored it at the time because
Okay.
I'm in the U.S. So, but after a while, I started to see that, and I asked them before he passed. He passed in 2014. I'm like, it's
Okay,
hard
so I
to
get that.
date here. It's like I want like it's hard. It's like you were correct. Like, was it bad like that back then? He was like, it wasn't bad, but there were certain things that he saw that he figured, okay, let me gear my sons towards home, and I don't want to lose the culture. I want them to learn the language. I want them
Mm,
to be connected to the culture. It wasn't anything bad about Americans or Black Americans. We actually like he actually had a lot of friends here that used to come visit, and we used to
mm,
they used to go visit him back home, and and for me it was like, wow, these people go visit my dad, like this crazy, like they still connect after 20, 30 years. But it wasn't anything bad or anything like that. Moving back to Nigeria was actually my last option, but man, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I
okay,
did.
so it wasn't like a nefarious reason or one. He just wanted you to remain culturally African, basically,
Yeah, yeah,
because he saw
basically.
some things even in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that were problematic to maybe your family building and the traditional values that they have in Africa. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think any tribe, right? Any tribe wants, when I mean tribe, I mean Black Americans, us,
Hmm.
African Americans, or whites, or Jewish, Asians, Chinese. They want,
Any ethnicity.
yeah, exactly. They want their children to kind of be, to kind of stay in between the culture and then and to just to keep that value going, the bloodline, as you will, So
Hmm.
I guess that's what I was. But a lot of Americans don't, because I'm both. A lot of Americans don't see it that way. They say, well, they don't want you guys to marry because they think they're better, blah blah blah. No, it's just anybody. Like if you go to a Jewish family in America, they don't want their kids to marry anyone outside of the Jewish ethnicity or culture. So, everybody wants their children to kind of stay in between wherever they're from or whatever they believe that is best so that they can keep that same bloodline going. So it's
Hmm.
interesting that way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, you have traveled to Colombia, and what other countries have you been to so far?
I've been to Colombia once. I've been to Mexico 5 times. I've been to Qatar. I've been to Germany. I've been to Netherlands, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal. Uh, where else? Where else? UK. I've been to London like 4 or 5 times.
Mhm.
Where else? Where else? I'm forgetting some places. I've been around, and when I started traveling, I wasn't traveling my first trip was when I was 21. I went to Amsterdam. I was looking at the red light district, like, what the freak is this? You know,
Mhm.
I traveled to see culture. I always wanted to travel when I was young, by myself,
Mhm.
no family, nothing. I just wanted to go. And when I started looking at um, content creators, white guys, I started looking at white guys on YouTube back in, you know, back in 2021. No, not 2021. Back in 2007, 2008. My first trip, there was no YouTube. I see these guys backpack through Europe. I was like, damn, I want to do that. I want to backpack to Europe. I want to see Europe. I want to get lost in Europe like these guys. And I did it. And I did it.
Mhm.
And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. And I knew that eventually I'm going to leave the US. I just didn't know where I was going to be. The US was never home for me. I
Okay.
lived everywhere, south side of Chicago, west side of Chicago, South Beach, California. Nowhere felt like home in the US.
Okay. And all the countries you've been to, what's like your top, the ones that you like the most? Not necessarily comparison,
Ooh,
but just your personal flavor of what you like.
ooh, that's a good question. My favorite city to date
Mhm.
is Mexico City.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Mex-
Over
Mexico
Medellin.
City over Medellin.
Mhm.
Medellin was kind of I stayed in do you know the Charlie Hotel? The
Mhm.
Charlie Hotel in Pacayeras. It's a
Sure,
nice
sure.
hotel. So I
Uh-huh.
stayed in
Yeah.
that area. So I didn't really explore as much because I was I was busy, if you know what I mean. I was really busy. um, with the beautiful girls. But Mexico City, I really, really, really explored. I went there 5 times. I went there literally
Mhm.
five. I dated, like I literally had a relationship. I was going back and forth, because I didn't want to date women from the U.S. at all. So I was just dating women in other
Okay.
countries, and I used to just fly
Right.
back and forth. Yeah, fly back and forth. I was learning Spanish too, so I just flew back and forth. Mexico City is my favorite city in the world. Period. To visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So brothers,
Uh,
you need to start looking at that. You start looking at Mexico City.
Excellent. Excellent. I got my first super chat of the day. A black dude in 360 with the $5. I believe that's a British pound. He says, as a Nigerian, the Nigerian culture is messed up. Fake national pride. The tribes don't get along. Hyper materialistic men and women. You want to say something to that, brother? Thank you for the
Um,
super chat.
I don't know. I think people are really negative about Nigeria for some reason. I don't know. I mean, that's his opinion.
Mhm.
I live here. I've been living here since, again, December 2022. People get along. People from different tribes get along. People from different tribes marry.
Mhm.
The hyper materialistic, as black people in general, we are materialistic. In whatever country you go to, if you go to the black community, we have the most, we want to acquire the most things. Nigeria is just a place where there's
That
hyper
crosses all
success.
that crosses all races.
Exactly. But it's a lot of, especially I'm in Lagos, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of successful people. There's
Mhm.
so much here that you wouldn't even believe unless you come here. So you have a negative, you definitely have a negative mindset about Nigeria if you don't really live there, because there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. There's nothing good in the media. Like, you have to be here to actually experience like the good side of being in Nigeria.
Right, because this is pretty much what we see on, and people get most of the information from YouTube at this point,
Yeah.
from content creators way more than the television or something like that. So you see, it seems like some of the more the black content creators, they go in there and they find the nice areas and everything. You got Lagos, but then you got guys like Indigo Traveler I watch his channel, but he always goes to the slums and
Yes, in every
he's getting
country.
11 million views, 7 million
Yeah.
views, and then people kind of internalize that like, okay, that must be how Nigeria is. Why is the
Um,
why is the I guess you want to say the marketing of Nigeria so negative and so bad?
I'm not sure. Like, even I was kind of scared to move there with all this. I mean, I'm a traveler, so I know you can't believe anything the State Department says about a country, or travel alerts, or red alerts, or level 3, blah blah blah. But this guy in particular, the guy that this filmmaker, the guy that was filming for him, the guy that was taking him around, I met the
Mhm.
guy, and the guy said he wanted to go to he wanted shock factor. He wants the most views. You're not gonna get the most views.
Hold on now. You talking about the Indigo Traveler guy?
Yes. He wants the most
Okay.
views. He wants to go to he wants to go to the slum. He always wants, if you look at his videos, he always wants to go like to the slum, like he always wants to go to like, the places that are wow, like this is crazy. Um, that area is just one part of Lagos. That's in Lagos actually. That's actually one. Like
Mhm.
that place on the water that was just like one particular place. There's way other places he could have visited that, to give people a better view. But of course, he's a content creator. He wants the most views, so he's gonna go to
Mhm.
the most, the craziest areas. It's like going to the U.S. and going to Philly and going to Zombie Town, and going to the South Side of Chicago. In Chicago, you want you want people to be scared. You want to keep people on their feet. We're content creators. We want the shock factor. So um, that's
Okay.
just for him, the white guy. Yeah.
Okay, I have a comment by my man Zoo Travels in the building. Shout out to Zoo. He says in the early 90s, Nigeria's current president had his U.S. bank account seized by the Department of Justice for proceeds of drug trafficking, specifically heroin. Okay, and that's the current president. Wow. That's something
Again,
serious. I got another comment I want
yeah.
to point out because I have heard this from several people myself personally. Where was that comment? It was about okay. It was about the airport. Okay, BMT. Antoine Hook says, "Okay, BMT, go to Nigeria and see how they get you at the airport. Then do a part two with him." So I have heard that they kind of shake Americans down at the airport for like $100.
um.
Oh no, that was a pause. That was a
Yeah.
pause.
No. This is a very frank interview. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's some people that ask you for money. It's not just Americans. It's just
Mhm.
anybody.
Okay.
They will ask you for money. They will ask you, hey, do you have anything for me? Blah 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 blah. So yeah, they will ask you.
Well,
You
wait a
don't have
minute. I
to.
thought we all black. We all brothers. What do you mean? Don't do us like that.
Yeah, everybody they get everybody. The white guys, they get Chinese, they get they just ask you for money. Like, hey, do you have anything for me? I just walk past them. They have a new airport now,
Mhm.
a brand new airport. So it's kind of a little different. But the old airport was like, yeah, you go through like 4 or 5 people ask you for money. So yeah,
You
yeah.
talking
So
about
yeah,
like the actual people that work at the airport, the custom
yeah, people,
agents? Oh
yeah,
hell no!
people that work at the airport. Yeah.
Oh
So they
man.
have a new airport now that's open right next to it, which is a lot better because I flew through there and most of that stuff was cleaned up because now you can't hide behind. Hey, I'm searching your bag and did you bring anything for me? No, I didn't bring nothing for you. You know. So yeah, that does
Okay.
happen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got another comment here by I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Adilson Paris. I think that's how you pronounce it. The black content creators need to explore and leave that Colombia and DR alone. I feel though those are men that don't want that want non-black women straight hair desire. I don't know why people say that, man, because when we travel, we see brothers with a multitude of different types of women, but mostly Afro women. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got another super chat here by Irvin Hunt. $10 super chat. He says, "Found you from Austin Holloman. Like your content. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate that, Irvin. Thank you. And shout out to my man Austin Holloman as well." Philip Archer says, "Haven't been to Africa yet. Would love to go." All right, I got one more super chat here. And I got a good question for you. I got my man Gooch in the building. GMT Travels. What up, Gooch? Says Nigerians are the flexors of Africa. I'll stick to East Africa. Okay. Shout out to my man Gooch. All right, so a lot of people are going more to like Kenya and those areas and everything. Do you think Nigeria is just? I mean, it's not really set up for tourists like that or tourism.
Nigeria was not really set up for tourism. That's why a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say because they
Mhm.
don't really you don't know too many people that have been there that could just give you the word like, yeah, you were there. What happened? How the women? Blah blah blah. So um, Ghana is big on tourism, so a lot of people know more about Ghana, Kenya, South
Mhm.
Africa, Nigeria. Plus, Nigeria is a place where when I went with my American passport, I had to go get a visa in Atlanta.
Mhm.
So you need a visa as an American to go in, and other countries as well. So it's kind of harder to get in as well. And it wasn't really set like the tourism sector is not really set up for tourism, but it's a very very fun country, especially like Lagos. A
Mhm.
lot to do, a lot to do.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. What about the safety?
the safety in Lagos is you're pretty safe. Again, I walk around. There's nice neighborhoods. I live in a gated community. You need codes to get in.
Mhm.
the northern part of Nigeria where the Muslims are. That's where all the crazy stuff happens. If you hear about adoption or anything like that, it's all the way on the top, and where the Hausas live. So it's not really in Lagos or Abuja. Lagos and Abuja are really safe. If you want to compare it to the U.S. or Medellin, people don't have guns. People don't really have guns. Women are not drugging you. So you're kind of safe in that you can walk around at 2, 3 in the morning. I go to the clubs. I go out. I walk around anywhere. People are not. You don't stick out if you're black. You don't stick out anyway. They don't know where you're from. They don't know who you are. They will show you. They will show you love though. If they know you're American, they will show you love. But as far as like safety in general, is way safer than America. Way safer because there's no guns. There's not really those much robberies. You have
Really?
Airbnbs.
Okay.
You have Airbnbs. You have hotels. You have very safe areas, very nice areas. You also have the crazy areas like the one that the white guy showed. But again, don't go flashing. Don't go flashing your gold chain. Don't go flashing pocket full of money. Please don't go throw money around. I mean, it's come on. So that's a no-brainer. But in general, I feel very safe compared to South Beach. Like there are times in South Beach where I don't want to go to the beach, and the beach was 5 minutes from my apartment because there's yellow tape everywhere. Here I don't see yellow tape. I don't see random shootings. There's no school shootings. You know what I'm saying? There's no gun. Somebody just came in with a gun and shot you in traffic. There's no Walmart being shot up. So it's different in that way. So I would say it's a lot safer than the US. But again, you will never see that unless you come here. All you're gonna see on the internet is Nigeria's crazy. I don't want to go to Nigeria. So
Okay.
in that part, yeah.
I got a comment here. My man do travels again says Nigeria is too corrupt of a country.
Again, everybody's just focusing on the on negative parts. Why is it all negative? Um, the US is more corrupt than Nigeria. The US is the most corrupt country in the world. We don't say that about the US. Yes, it's corrupt. There's no country in the world that's not corrupt. Colombia is
Okay.
corrupt. Why you think the police don't do anything when foreigners get robbed? It's all corruption. Everybody's in cahoots with everybody. So I wouldn't focus on Nigeria being corrupt. There are corrupt politicians here. There are corrupt politicians in the U.S. There are corrupt people all over the place. So I think we should focus on the positive, and that's the thing about we black people. I think a lot of times we just look at all the comments. We just focus on the negative of things,
Yeah,
and I
we
think
got these. Yeah.
yeah, and this kind of holds us back. This is one of the reasons why we're in the bottom of the totem pole in the U.S. because we keep it's just we can't see a lot of times we can't see anything good. I've had consultation with white guys from my channel saying they want to come to Nigeria, which shocks me. I've had 3 consultations with white guys. They never see anything negative, and actually 2 of them came to visit Nigeria, which I met up with, which was shocked me because you see guys like that, and they're like, okay, whatever, I'll come, whatever, I'll do whatever.
Okay.
You sure? Go get your visa. Go get your visa. We'll hang out when you get here. And so, as black people, we need to start focusing on. Everybody's like, oh, corrupt, this and that. If you mention anything, I can pull up data in the U.S. is 100 times worse. So why do we look at Africa as this place where we're programmed to think that it's very bad? It's very corrupt. It's very everybody's materialistic. Have you been to U.S.? Come on, we're materialistic. So we need to start focusing uh, on building our mindset to be more positive, more open-minded. And this is why we're all going to Medellin, because everybody just wants to go to the same places because we don't want to explore. When I came here, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was gonna. I actually thought I was gonna leave at some point. Like I thought I was, because I didn't know anything, but I ended up loving it. Everybody's respectful. I love the culture. The women are, the dating is, if you want to date, Lagos is the place for you. Lagos or Abuja.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. Hold on. We gotta expound on that.
we're gonna spend on that.
Shout out to
Okay.
my man Daryl. He also became a member. That's my man in Kazakhstan. I mean, that's how you said it. He's even giving me how I said it. I think it's Kazakhstan out there, man. Appreciate you joining at the membership, bro. Appreciate that. So let's talk about that, man. A lot of guys are familiar with the dating in the Caribbean and South America and everything, and you've dated them both. This is good. This is some good content. So you dated them both. What's the little differences in there? I know the biggest thing you said was you don't have to worry about getting drugged. That's a W right there in itself.
Yeah.
But what else they got going on out there in Nigeria?
When it comes to dating,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. For the first 6 months, I did
Mhm.
every weekend. I didn't go out when I was single. I found somebody I was gonna marry now, so I'm gonna be married hopefully, but before the end of this year.
Okay, hey man, I'll pull up, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm
I'll
telling you,
pull up
like
on you.
dating here is so easy. Women are very, very respectful.
Mhm.
Um, you can approach anyone. You can approach any woman. If she's married, she'll just tell you she's married. Everybody goes in a merry way. Um, if you want to compare it to the U.S., I'm not even gonna mention the U.S. U.S. I walk up to a black woman and say hi, and she would look at me like, "Who the f are you?" That's
Yeah.
we're not gonna. But when it comes to Colombia, I would say if Colombia didn't have all those robberies and drugs and stuff, like Colombia is a beautiful place to date. Nigeria doesn't have any of that. There's not really setups. The women a lot of women, if they know that you're doing well, might ask you. Some of them might ask you for money. My
Mhm.
thing is, if a woman asks me for money and I haven't smashed, I'm blocking her. And I guess that's any country. There's gold diggers in any country, but most of the women here are very, very respectful. Like you literally flirt, like I was walking down the street one time, I eyed a girl, gave her the eye, she gave me the eye back and said, "Good afternoon, sir. How are you?" That's how they are. Like, because of
Mhm.
the culture, respect is the
Mhm.
number one thing here, and I really, really, really love the respect factor here. As a man, if you pull up
So
to the
so so let me ask you this. Um, do them being Nigerian and you Black American, do they have any problems with bringing a Black American guy home to the family or anything, or it's all good?
No, no, they don't. Even the white guys that are here are winning. They're
Hmm.
so I see more white guys here from America than Black Americans. I don't think the only two Black Americans that I met here was at a hotel when I went to have a drink, and they were working at the embassy. Like brothers ain't really pulling up to Nigeria like that, but the white
They're
guys
not. Yeah,
are,
you're right. Yeah.
and they with the baddies. They got the baddies. So if white guys are getting
But
married
but let
to
me
Nigeria,
but let me tell
yeah,
you one of the reasons why. It's like,
mhm,
Nigerians are very close to our culture. We probably rock with Nigerians the most out of any other African group in America. And the Nigerians tell us, or the people like you that's have Nigerian families, they say, "Oh, you go to Nigeria, you get kidnapped. You get shaken out of the airport. You get in the wrong car, they're
yeah,
gonna kidnap you and hold you for hostage." That's what I've heard personally. So
yeah,
that's what gives us to be like, damn, I get kidnapped. I'm not trying to, get through that.
yeah. What I've noticed of people like that is they've never been to Nigeria. The first thing I ask them is,
You're
have
right.
you ever traveled? Most of them
Right.
haven't
You're
even
right.
traveled.
You're
So
right. You're right.
I have people come in my comment section. I have people email me since I had my chance. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. You have people argue with me. I'm like, dude, I'm in Nigeria, bro. I'm here. You kind of tell me do you have a passport? No, I don't have a passport. So they have, and then some of them send me the clip news article. There's a guy that he sent me, he emailed me a clip article. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah,
Mm.
a Daily Mail clip article that you're gonna get kidnapped in Nigeria. Like, you've never been anywhere. You probably say the same thing about DR. You're in DR right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in DR.
A lot of guys still don't want to go to DR because they think DR is done. But I saw your videos with business owners in the DR, so it's very good to be open minded to not just to not just have a closed mindset. Oh, this corrupt. They're gonna kidnap you. Then people get kidnapped in Colombia all the time. Guys are still going. There are guys flying to Colombia right now,
Hey, man.
even though they know, even though
Hey,
they know what's going on. You know.
you know. All right, let me catch a super chat by $4 by Prime. I'm sorry, $4.99. That's a super chat, man. I appreciate that. He said Lagos is lit. It's Lagos, right? Lagos?
Lagos.
Lagos? Lagos, okay. Lagos is lit and safe. Please not walk outside those airport doors without you. The driver, the cab drivers will play tug of war with you very aggressively.
Very true.
Shout out to you. And I got my man. Knack Sneezy in the building. Shout out to Knack Meezy with a $6. I think that's the British pound or something like that. He says, keep it 100. Nigeria is problematic and dangerous. 160 people deleted in one sweep 3 weeks. Well, hold on. 160 people deleted in one sweep 3 weeks ago. No comparison to USA. Is that Niger? They be dangerous. What's that right there? Niger, something like that. What's that?
It's a night. I think Niger is a nickname for Nigeria.
Okay, okay. It's not a
Yeah.
derogatory name, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, do you want to respond to that or?
I don't know where these people get their information from. I mean, they probably has it been to Africa? Has it been? Does he have a passport? Has it been anywhere close to the continent of Africa? I don't know. This is all, and I'm used to it. I knew that this was gonna be this way. I know that a lot of people are gonna be negative because they come to my channel with the same energy, and I just ignore it because I'm here right now. I'm here. I have family members here. I have friends. I do consultation with people that have been here, visited. 100 people, 160 people deleted in 1 week. Go to Chicago. Let's see how many people got deleted today. You know how many people get kidnapped every freaking year in the U.S.? Over 500,000 people. Google it. You
Okay.
guys can. You guys can.
What do you have?
You
What do you
know.
have to say to this? He says, Ron Travis says, BMT travels. He isn't Black American. He is Nigerian, returning home. Born in America, there is a difference.
There's no difference. I'm no different from. And that's another thing that we do as Black people. We try to put everybody in a box. We can't. We're telling everybody to be passport bros, meaning explore. You could say that about people in Black Americans in DR. You could say that about Black Americans in Morocco. You know what I'm saying? I am just a regular Black dude with an American accent. If Aaron and I are walking down the street here, we both the same. Ain't no, oh, you were kind of Nigerian, and you were. Come on, like let's break out of this mindset. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Zoo Travels says Nigeria has marauding Islamic terrorists killing whole villages, and they're aided by the government. Basically, ethnic cleansing. I mean, I don't know, man. The people to come and stay out of Nigeria, brother. I'm rocking with you, but I mean, you want to respond to that or?
I haven't heard of that. I know that there's a lot going on in the north, which are where the Muslims are. That's where the trouble is.
Well, how big is Nigeria? Like on the state side, like is it big as Texas or how big is the country?
It's bigger than Texas. It's 200
Okay.
million people. So over 200 million people.
So you have your north, south, east. Is it set up like
Yeah,
that?
you have north, south, east, west, and they're way
Okay.
far from each other. Way far. It's like saying people are getting kid like it's like saying 100 people got kidnapped in California and then warning people not to go to New York or go to Miami. Come on, it's
Okay.
very far
So
from each other.
what part is the dangerous part and what part is the safe part for people to
The
go
north
visit?
part, the north
Mhm.
part where the Muslims are, I would say,
Mhm.
those, they're in pockets. A lot of stuff go on there. But I'll say
Mhm.
Lagos, Abuja. Lagos is like the most developed, the most like the financial hub. Lagos is very calm.
Mhm.
Abuja is very calm. Um,
Mhm.
again, there's nothing else to say. I mean, I've been there for a year. I'm still here.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. And uh, it, as far as I want to say, like cost of living, as far as how much would was a one bedroom would run you out there?
So people pay their rent every year. They don't pay. Rent is not getting paid every month like it is in the U.S. But if I could break it down, I would say
That's
you can
cool.
get a you can get a one bedroom for like $150 a month,
In a safe
200
area.
in a very nice area, with
Wow,
with
really?
yes with 24-hour electricity, security
Hmm.
at the gate, parking space, everything. Because it's bigger. The apartments are bigger here than the U.S. or the U.K. Excuse me, U.S. or the U.K. in general. So you get space and you get a what you call a boys' quarter or like a maid's quarter. Almost every apartment has a maid's quarter because they expect you to have a maid. They expect you to have a help come clean the
Hmm.
house and cook for you. So I'll say $150 to $200. Groceries are extremely cheap. food is extremely cheap and very organic because most of it is grown here. Um, Going out to the club could get expensive. There are a lot of steakhouses. There's a lot of expensive places too.
Mhm.
If it depends on your lifestyle. If you're in Lagos, if you're in there's a place called Victoria Island, Ikoyi. The apartments there are very expensive because it's a ultra modern areas. Abuja as well. So it just depends
Mm.
on how you want to stay. Now, if you wanna be outside of the city center, uh, like 5, 15, 20 minutes away,
Mhm.
you can literally get an apartment for like $90, $100 a month.
So you have to pay it the entire
The whole
year. So
year.
you're
Yeah.
looking like paying like $1,400, and your apartment is
Yeah.
yours for the entire year
Yes. It's yours.
in a safe area. But how do the apartments look though?
The apartments are okay. So this place that I'm at,
Mhm.
this is a 3 bedroom. This 3 bedroom is free. This is a separate apartment. It's called a guest house. The main house is where my uh other the my family member lives, and it's a 5 bedroom.
Mhm.
So imagine you rent a 5 bedroom for $6,000 a year, and it comes with a 3 bedroom guest house in the back for free. Just came with it. So in total, 9 bedrooms. This is a very very nice area. The neighbors here actually just bought a brand new Range Rover. Like people buy stuff for cash. There's no credit system here, so they want everything paid at once every year.
Okay. Let me
Yeah,
catch up with these super chats. I got my man T Mac in the building with a $4.99 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. He says, I can't judge Nigeria. I have been to 40 countries, including 2 in Africa. I am a visa holder in Colombia. Cops shoot me down a lot in Togo. All right. Appreciate that super chat. T Mac, my man T Mac in the building. All right. Where we at? Where we at? All right. I got my man Nat Measy back with $22. He says, I swear I will be respectful. Please drop the link for balance and truth for me. Nausea is worse than the USA. Did you want to do? I know you don't got that much time, but did you want to do a quick panel real quick?
I don't mind. I
Okay,
don't mind
okay.
at all.
We're gonna drop the link in a second. All right. And I got another super chat, but my man, hold on, let me put that right there. Let me drop the link real quick. All right, I got another super chat. My man Mufasa Shabazz with the following super chat. He says, I've spent months in Nigeria, there including the North. I'm 100% African American. Step out of the major tourist destinations, you'll have a ball. So there you go, family. He's saying that he goes to Nigeria as an African American and he enjoys it. Okay, that's good. All right,
You
let
know
me
the
just go ahead, bro. Let me just drop this link.
you know
You go.
the funny thing about all the negativity that's coming is like if you really think about and I knew it. I just because I was hearing everything before I even moved here, but everything that
Mhm.
everybody's saying that's going on here is going on in Colombia, is going on in the US, is going on everywhere. But when it comes to Nigeria, I think everybody just focuses on like the negative for some reason. I mean, I'm sure that is because people are not even here. Like there's not a lot of passport bros here.
Mhm.
Um, but I think we just need to keep things positive, keep an open mind. The world is a very big place, and there's a lot to explore. As passport bros,
Mhm.
with that blue passport, there's a lot of countries we can go to, a lot of countries.
Okay. I want to welcome Nat Measy to the show. What's going
Hey,
on,
what's
Nat?
up, BMT? How you doing? Everything all right?
Everything's good, my brother.
All right, that's what's up. How you doing, brother? What's going on? I don't know your
I'm
name.
good. I'm good, man. The passport model. How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. Thank you. Just a little background on me. I've been to the continent. I do business on the continent in Gambia, Togo, Nigeria, and Ghana. Okay. Um, Nigeria is not even close to what you're trying to tell people. The truth should be what it is. If we're going to talk about the dangers in Colombia, the over exaggerated dangers in America in comparison to Nigeria, you will by default be sending brothers to a place where they can have a bad experience or at least a bad surprise. You can start with everything from the visa process to Nigeria $160. Okay. The airport in Nigeria, chaos. Well, like I said, the violence. While yes, it's a lot of it has to do with Muslims versus everyone else, but it's really farmers versus pastoralists or people like, what do you call those people? The people that with the cows, the Fulani. It's not only in northern Nigeria, which is why in Yoruba land they have Amotekun. In the north they have Shege Kefasa. In Igbo land they have another group that's connected to Namdi Kanu. You can't tell my brothers, because I'm a black American, you can't tell my brothers to go to Nigeria like it's all sweet. It's absolutely not. When you talk about Abuja and you talk about the highway to Abuja, what happens? I'd ask you right now, could you tell the people what happens on that highway, brother?
What happens on what highway?
The highway to Abuja. It's called banditry. People jump out of the bushes with AKs and people are getting kidnapped. There
Oh,
was a huge Nigerian YouTuber named, I believe it was Abo Media. He was killed
Yeah, he
by
was.
bandits, by
Well,
bandits. So please don't tell my people that it's sweet in Nigeria. It's really, really not. So I'd like for you to rebut anything I said. And with the 160 dead, yes, that was in the north, but it doesn't matter. That was Muslims banging on Christians. There's a lot of ethnic tension. It's not that bad between Igbos and Yoruba, right? But there's area boys in a lot of these places. Like I could cook on Nigeria all day, brother. So I don't want you to tell people that it's sweet because it's really, really not. And you
okay.
being of a Nigerian born in America or living in America, you have more of a connection than we do. Okay, so then you'd be ethnically insulated, not
that's
us. We
that's
go
that's
down there.
not true.
We have no. Hold on. Is someone speaking over me, or is that you, brother? Because
Go
I'll give
ahead.
you a chance to respond.
Go
No,
ahead.
go
Go
on.
ahead. I would say
So you're
that's not true.
ethnically
That's not
insulated,
true at
not
all.
like us.
That's not true at all.
What?
There's no such thing as ethnic insulation. If you're a traveler
Huh?
and you come to Lagos or you go to Abuja, it's the same with everyone. The beaches are full of foreigners. If something happens in the north, which is far away from Lagos or Abuja, it has nothing to do with Lagos or Abuja. I'm telling brothers to come to Lagos and Abuja, and those people that got kidnapped, that's not an everyday thing. That's something that happened with, yes, banditry, but it's in the northern part of the country. So
Banditry is not
we
only in the northern part. Do you know what Amotekun is?
what is it?
You don't know? You're Nigerian, brother.
I'm American.
Well, are you of Nigerian roots? Because you're telling my people to go
It
to
doesn't.
Nigeria.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
you
gonna.
don't know. So let me
I'm.
tell you what
I'm not gonna.
Amotekun is.
I'm not gonna
No, but
sit and argue with
I'm
you.
gonna tell you since you don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot, brother.
No, you can. Let's go.
That's one of the many what do you call it, vigilante groups that are there that are doing what the government can't do. Okay, you guys heard of SARS, right? Special Anti-Robbery Squad. They also have one called SAC, Special Anti-Cultism Squad, because there's a rampant a problem with rituals. What do they call these people? I think they call like, well, they're cultists. Okay, if you talk about Edo State, Benin, there's a lot of human trafficking. That's the pipeline directly to Italy. Like, brother, it's not sweet in Nigeria. If you're gonna come up here now and claim that you're an American and not a Nigerian, then that may be why you don't know. But if I'm telling you, and we can go fact for fact, there's not a place in America where 160 people are being killed in one thing in a coordinated attack on
Uh-oh,
12
we
different
gonna have a good one
villages.
today.
It doesn't happen.
Okay, now, okay, let me get super chat real quick by my man WM Mustafa with a $5 super chat. He says, ask Nak how many Americans ever got hurt in Nigeria versus in America.
You know, I'd love to do the research on that, but unfortunately, the Nigerian government don't keep those sort of records. They don't. And when somebody mentioned um, the army, the reason why the stuff is rampant, especially in the north, is that the government, especially the military, is run by Fulani. You just had a Fulani president and Bukhari. I think his name is Bukhari. So
Buhari.
what they'll do, they'll let the Fulani bandits do whatever they want to do. That's what it is. Nigeria, when it was created, okay, was really a whole bunch of different kingdoms slapped together by Flora and named by Flora Shaw, and a lot of them
That's
don't
true.
get along with each other.
That's true.
So Nigeria is not a place where brothers should be going to. If you're gonna go to the continent for the first time, I say go to Ghana, go to Senegal if we're talking about the West Coast, West Africa, or go to Kenya, go to Tanzania. Nigeria is not for the newcomer to Africa, and that's a fact.
Okay, I want to welcome my man Mufasa to the show. What's going on, Mufasa?
Hey, what's going on? How you been, bro?
Been good, man. I've been good.
All right. So first of all, man, I've been in Nigeria personally for months, right? I spent 4 months in Nigeria. I've been in Nigeria maybe 4 flights to Nigeria on different occasions, right? Since 2019. So I actually know what I'm talking about. Have you been to Nigeria, Nakmizi?
Yes, I have.
What city?
Lagos.
Okay, for how long?
I'm not. You're not gonna interrogate me, but just get to your point, brother. I've been to the continent, and I do business in Lagos.
Okay, so he doesn't want to know, say for how long. I will. I've spent maybe 5 months overall in Nigeria, right? I've been to the north, the scary north. I spent some time in Kano, Nigeria, in the north. I took a bus from Abuja to Jos, Nigeria, and I spent about a month in Jos, Nigeria, in a regular neighborhood, walking around, taking KK's public transportation. In Lagos, I took just regular Donfos, walking around. In every single city I've been to, I walk around and talk to people. It's even cities where people don't really speak English. Like outside of the main cities, there's places where people don't even really speak English that much. And I done walked around totally by myself. I took these highways. The one I didn't take, there's one that is pretty dangerous. There's a highway from Abuja to Kaduna. It's a lot of banditry and a lot of things going on there. Kidnapping is a real thing in Nigeria. But the thing is, there's a lot of problems in a lot of countries. It's how you're not necessarily going to deal with it. If you come to Nigeria and you ask anybody and you say, hey, I want to go to Kaduna, which you wouldn't want to go there anyway. But if you say, hey, I want to go to Kaduna, everybody's going to tell you, do not go to Kaduna. It's that simple. That's very easy. Just like if you go to Colombia or any other place and you want to go to the wrong hood or something like that, people will tell you, don't go there. Without some good reason to be there, don't go. It's very easy to deal with. It's a very safe place. And I don't see, I mean, he's saying not to go there. He's saying, I guess he can't tell him, I guess, because he's supposed to be not a black American. I'm 100% black American. Grew up here all my life. My family from Illinois, rooting up from Alabama and Texas. And I'm telling you, you can go to Nigeria. It's a good place to go. I 100% can tell you that.
Okay, let me get super chat real quick. My man Wayne Thomas with $2 super chat. He says, damn, Nakmizi convinced me. NGL. I don't know if I'm not sure what the NGL means.
Not gonna lie, that's what it means. Now, does everyone get killed in Nigeria? Absolutely not. But nothing I said was a lie.
But pretty much,
I already mentioned the highway, right? The highway that you just confirmed, and
that was the wrong highway. You mentioned the wrong highway, but go ahead.
Bro, there's a highway that they get robbed on that you don't want to go on.
Right.
You just confirmed Abuja and the highway. Let's not nitpick, brother. Because I didn't name the highway. But when you're in Nigeria, do you not have to keep your head on a swivel?
Not really.
Not really, bro. Like only if you're in those instances, like you said, banditry is an issue on certain highways, right, and in certain contexts. And then there's if you go to the northeast, like to Maiduguri in Borno State, then yeah, that's like you have Boko Haram and issues, and it's arguably in like a open rebellion, right? And I even want to go there, to be honest. But that's that one spot. Nigeria is huge. I've been to about 10 states in Nigeria. is huge. And I didn't have to have my hat on some super swivel. I've never heard anything. So I'm in a temple here in America. And 5 of my temple members are in Nigeria right now in Ogun State. And the leader of my temple, he's getting the honor, and there's 5 of them there right now without a care in the world, posting lives every day in the middle of Abeokuta, a city y'all probably never even heard about. Not Lagos, not Abuja. They're in the middle of the country. The first time I went to Osun State, 2 different cities, and I'm just out in the middle of the semi-rural Nigeria, having just living life. You need something, people will help you with it. I mean, it's there's no keeping your head on the swivel. Nothing like what you're dealing with in Colombia. Like we got 30 people killed last month. You're never going to find no news about tourists being killed like that in Nigeria. You're not going to find that.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say I wouldn't compare it to Colombia. In Colombia, there's literal targets on Americans' backs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that from a tourist standpoint. But in Nigeria, it's ABG. Anybody can get it. It's anybody can get it. You from the police that are asking for money from you, to banditry, to all sorts of stuff. So I'm just saying we keep it real. If you're gonna tell brothers to go, give them don't paint it rosy, because it was painted rosy by the brother before I got up here.
It's
But
not
nothing
rosy.
that I said.
I'm giving him my experience.
Wait, but hold on, brother. You can tell your experience. We should all tell our experiences, right? But we have to balance it with the actual truth on the ground. If anyone's listening, they can pull up their computer. It's not only the North. In Yoruba land, they got a problem with Fulani jumping out of the forest attacking people with AK-47s. This is a real fact, and the government can't deal with it, which is why they have all of these militias. And I named the militias. In Yoruba land, it's Amotekun. And in Igbo land, it's goddamn. They're connected to Nnamdi Kanu, which is the Biafran movement.
Eastern the ESN.
Yeah, and Biafra something Liberation Army.
Right. Yeah, so if I'm not lying, brothers, let's just keep it 100.
Real quick, Zoo.
Yeah.
So what you got to say about this?
Oh no. I mean, everybody's right. You can go to Nigeria and have a good time and nothing happen, but again, it's anybody can get it, right? You could be at the wrong place, wrong time, and get kidnapped. And it's a shame because Nigeria is, the largest country in Africa, right? 1 out of 5 Africans is Nigeria, but that country shouldn't exist. I'm Igbo, I'm Biafra, right? That shit shouldn't exist. Like, just the way it was set up from the beginning is fucked up. Excuse my language, right? And they committed genocide against Igbos, right? And we're citizens of the same country. The whole thing is it's ran by criminals, right? You see what I posted earlier, right? About the current president had the DOJ confiscate his U.S. bank accounts because of proceeds from drug trafficking.
Tinubu?
Yeah, like this country doesn't make sense. Like my uncle, he always tells me, like, if somebody's explaining Nigeria to you and it makes sense, you're about to get scammed, right? Like,
oh damn,
like the shit is fucked up. Like, people can try to paint it all good and what, but it's not the truth. Like, Nigeria's a messed up place, right? Down to its foundation, right? Like, if you know the history of Nigeria, you can't say otherwise, right? Like, the British just grouped everybody together, and now this is nigger area because it was the most densely populated black place on the planet, Nigeria, right? This is what it is. It's a scam, in my opinion, on the black race. It should be fucking Wakanda. It should be 3 or 4 different countries, right? But instead, it's this contraption that they forced to keep together, right? They use the Fulani as like internal colonizers, right? This is how I see it. This is how I believe it actually is, right?
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
Yeah, you go ahead.
No, I'm saying very few of the things, most of the things you're saying are true. I mean, you're just explaining the history and the difficulty in the political situation in Nigeria. But he came on talking about us going there as tourists in Nigeria. And most of the things you're saying really have nothing to do with interrupting our tourist experience. I mean, these things are true. I mean, to be honest with you, man, that's the story of Africa in general. And then to say I do understand what happened with the Civil War, but to just get on here to people who have no idea of the history and to just say that they committed genocide, which I understand that argument, but it was more complex than that. It was like more to it than that. There was a war going on. So it's not like, I don't want people to understand, and this was in like the 60s. So I don't want people to think that like, okay, they're just actively committing genocide and people just getting killed in the streets like that right now today, every day.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
well,
That
there is
word,
evidence
that
of
word,
Let me
anybody
jump on
can.
here.
Hold on. Let me. I've been listening to you guys. That word, anybody can get it. It's just
That's not
disingenuous.
true. That's no.
There's no, like, you guys are picking the worst stories of the northern part that has nothing to do with, if
no.
you
What?
It's
Four
if
not
four
the.
Yoruba
Let,
let
kings
let
me
got
me
finish.
deal
killed
with
Let me
it,
last
brother.
week.
finish.
Let him
Let me
Four
finish. Let
finish.
him
Yoruba
finish.
kings got
Let me
killed
finish.
last week in
Let him
Yoruba.
finish. Let him
I
finish.
All
I
right,
didn't interrupt y'all. Let me
go ahead.
finish.
Proceed.
As
Facts.
someone that's been living here for the past year or over a year, I can say my experience is, if you want to come here and visit, if you want to come to Lagos, Abuja, some parts of Osun State, Ogun State, like some other areas that are smaller, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have fun, and I'm standing on that because I've had so many people come visit and they had fun. So although the history of this and that, the history of America is not that great. There's kidnappings in America. There's 500,000 people kidnapped in America every year. Let's leave the negative energy alone. If you've really been to Nigeria for a month, 2, 3 months, you won't have. And you're in Lagos and you stayed in the nice areas where you can go out, you can walk anywhere, you will have a lot of positive things to say. A lot of the things that you guys are talking about is just, you're just picking stories from some website, or you guys are just picking, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm living here. I'm living here. And I know a lot of people living here, foreign, black, white, and I could say you can have a lot of fun here. Yes, the visa process is tedious, I'm gonna say, but
But
America
I
has a
think,
visa against
I
the
think
U.S., Nigeria as
the
well.
passport model. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think that people are trying to figure out, is it safe or not? And
It is safe. It is safe.
you guys
It's
saying it's safe,
Lagos,
Yes,
and that
it's
may
safe.
be
Yes.
Lagos,
and people are saying
It's
no,
safe.
it's
Abuja,
not safe. But
major
it's
cities
okay.
are safe.
Is it
Major
safe
cities.
for Passport Bros to visit?
It is
Or
very
what?
safe for Passport Bros to visit.
100%.
It is safe.
Okay. All
Bro,
right.
Dinus Amir has a tour that he's been doing for the last 4 years or something, since
I
2019. He's
I
taking
linked up
groups
with him.
of, yeah, he's taking groups of African Americans, like 15 at a time, every single year to the same, at the same time. So if this was some super duper kidnapping, wouldn't they have got kidnapped by now? He's doing
Well,
this
not
every year.
necessarily. Here's the thing, and why I came on here, because the brothers tried to make a mention to America, as if America was more dangerous than Nigeria. That's why I clicked the link. What I said about 160 being killed and being deleted in one instance, that's a fact. There's
No,
banditry, kidnapping,
No,
there's ritual
nobody said it
killing.
was. Nobody said it
Wait,
wasn't
wait,
a
wait,
fact.
hold
We're
on.
Yeah.
telling
But
you
you
where it
wait, hold on,
is.
brother. You said you didn't interrupt and no one interrupted you. But you absolutely did say that you didn't know about it. So if you don't know about what's going on, then you can't really tell people whether it's safe or not, except from your own experience. I'm just saying, let brothers make an educated decision on going there. I haven't said anything that was a lie here, and if I'm lying, I'm flying. Everybody can Google and see what's
What part
going
of
on.
Lagos did you stay? What part of Lagos did you
Brother, I'm
stay
not
and
giving you
visit?
my GPS because then you're
You've
gonna
never
be
been to
asking me about my
Nigeria.
business.
You've never been to Nigeria.
Oh,
I could
really?
say that. I could say you've never been to Nigeria.
Are you Nigerian?
Tell me where you stayed in Lagos. You
No,
stayed in
I'm not
Lagos?
telling. I'm not asking you. Are you Nigerian? Yes or no?
All right.
You're
Hold on.
asking.
Hold on, guys.
You're using a question to
Hold
asking a
on, guys.
question.
Before we
Yeah,
get
he's getting personal questions, so we're
hold
gonna go
on.
all the
No,
way
Hold on.
no.
personal.
I'm asking you where you
Hold
stayed.
on, guys. Hold on. Before we go there, we try to keep it so positive today. I see us going down that road. All right. So shout out to the Pat Family's journey with the $4.99 in super chat. He says, I want to hear about the dating in Lagos. From the passport model of Mufasa, every country is ran by criminals. So my man, the passport journey said, man, F all that. What the women hitting on in Nigeria. I shot a 0 to hero $2 super chat says Nigeria and Colombia have travel warning level 3. Okay. All right. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's just talk about that for a moment. All right, let's talk about the dating for a moment. Oh, hold on, I got you muted. My bad, family. Hold on, I got you. There we go.
Yeah, dating in I've been here for over a year again. Dating in Nigeria is if if you want to date casually, this is the place. This is the place for you. If you want to find a wife, you can find a very nice traditional woman. Again, I said I found my wife when within 4 months of moving here. Very traditional, very submissive.
Mhm.
Dating here is very nice because you can approach women. You
Mhm.
can approach any woman. You can talk to any woman. It's easy. You don't have to go on dates. There's no list of 28 places you can't take me. I don't go on dates. Out of 100 women that I dated, let's say, I would say I went on dates maybe 5 times. The rest, straight to the crib.
Okay.
Because you're a man, so you're a leader. So the way is whatever you say that goes as a leader, as a man.
Okay. BMG Travels, Nat Measy is telling the truth, but people can go there if they move correctly, just like Colombia. Shout out to my man Felipe Lindsay.
No, listen, he's saying some things that are true. Well, you notice when I came on, I didn't say there was no banditry. I told you
Can
there.
you turn your mic down? I think you gotta turn your mic down a little bit, bro.
Oh, I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, I can turn it down right here. Now, I was saying I didn't say. Oh, I turned it up. I didn't say there was no banditry. I didn't go against the things that he said. All I was
turn
saying.
up a little bit more. Turn up a little bit more. Okay.
All right, there. We good now?
Yes, it's a little bit better.
All right, cool. So now, yeah, I didn't go against the true things he said, but it would be like if someone mentioned America and then all they talked about is school shootings, drive-bys in the hood, and you know what I'm saying, and they spent all the time they had to tell you about America. All they told you about was that, and then women deleting all their children. You know, if they lead with just the negative, it makes it appear as if that's what's going on everywhere, and that's not the case in Nigeria. Nigeria, I could understand the argument that it was more safe because, in a sense, that if you go in most neighborhoods, nobody's going to bother you. People aren't aggressive. Murders don't happen like that. Now there's the issues you said with there's like ethnic issues with the Fulanis and some attacks that happen, and then there's some religious zealots that might do some mass shootings at a church or something. But these are not things that like are going to really affect you like that when you're there visiting. You know, it's not that rampant.
Well, Kabiesi, I think you and I have spoke on other panels. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. What's up, brother? Can you just tell the people where I lied, though?
We didn't say you
I
lied.
just want the lie.
We didn't say you lied.
No, I said what
Okay,
I just
so-
said. I just explained that. I
No,
feel like you
because
mischaracterized it.
You said that basically most of the stuff that I was telling you is the truth, right?
Right.
And whether it's negative or not, the truth is always a good thing. I'm not saying don't go. What I'm saying, if you want to go to Africa, get your foot wet in Ghana first. Nigeria is not for your amateur traveler to Africa, bro. It's not. Get your foot wet somewhere else, and then you graduate to Nigeria. Once you go to Nigeria, you should already know how to haggle in a market. You should already know how to deal with a policeman. You should already know. If y'all gonna go, then just know that Nigeria, and this is like they talk about the shit between Black Americans and Nigerians. I'm telling you, the energy that we have as Black Americans, you'll find that in Nigeria too.
No way.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
way. That's wrong.
What?
That is wrong.
Hey,
Wait,
Derek,
hold on.
this for you, Nat Measy. Derek Thomas says, "Where is Nigeria? Where in Nigeria have you been?" Answer the question. They want to know if you really been there.
I can actually show receipts, but I don't need to because when I talk about me personally, we're talking about a country. All right. If y'all know me and y'all been here, y'all know what I do on the continent, and I can give you the organization that we fight in. And it's based in Lagos. We fight in Lagos. Now, when I said that Nigerians and Black Americans do have similar attitudes, you're saying no, Mr. Headphones? You said
on,
no.
Nat. Come on, Nat. There you go.
No, what I'm saying, because he said no.
You have to be respectful. Be respectful.
I'm being. What do you mean?
Their names,
I can't see your name. Passport model, brother. Passport model. You said no. Do you know that the majority of Black Americans have Nigerian ancestry?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking
Oh,
about.
wait, it has
That has
everything to do, and
that
I'll
has
tell you why, brother. And throughout the Black world, people look at Black Americans a lot of time as arrogant. You know, they look at Nigerians as arrogant too. Black
that has
Americans
nothing.
are so
That
wait,
has
hold on, let me
we're
finish,
going way.
let me finish because now you're getting to cutting off. Black Americans are at the top of the food chain as far as Black people worldwide. Nigerians are at the top of Africans on the continent. They do the best, and some of them, because they have such a big population, you have the best, and then you also have the worst, just like in Black America. So there are similarities between Black Americans and Nigerians. And for you to say no is to really ignore the historical connection between Black America and Nigeria.
All right.
So I wanted to know where I lied. So brothers, no one can prove the lie. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna go, just you know what I'm saying, be careful. Go with someone who's been there. If the brother Kabiesi's there now, or if he's recently been, link up with him if he's, or maybe he can hook you up with some people. If you're going to Benin City, I could hook you up with some people up there.
No, I wasn't saying that you lied. I think the way you presented the facts, I think you did two things, right? I'm not saying the things you said are false. I'm saying that you led with all this negativity, right? That doesn't really represent the overall experience. And then number two, the crime you're mentioning isn't necessarily going to be experienced by us as travelers. Like if you come as a tourist, these aren't things that you're going to necessarily run into. Like I could tell a person about the South Side of Chicago, but they just want to come to Hollywood and go to Disneyland. It really has nothing to do with them. They're gonna come there. They're gonna go to the hotel, go to a nice, come to the airport, go to a nice hotel. Then they're gonna go straight to their Disneyland resort. That has nothing to do with them. What's going on in these other areas? So that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about Passport Bros traveling, you totally have the ability to travel. You'll be safe. Like I told you, I got literally like before I was on here, I was watching a live of people in my temple in Nigeria right now, in regular Nigeria, laughing. And if I could show these pictures, I just don't know how to show them. They're like in my photos. I don't know
No,
if I
we
can.
believe you, brother. Did you
Okay.
go by yourself the first time?
No, first time I went with Dynas.
All right, see, that's my point. If you're
Yeah.
gonna go with somebody who's gone. Dynas is a great tour guide. When you go with Dynas, he's already connected. He's connected, like I said, ethnically. He's literally a prince. You see what I'm saying? So you go with Dynas, you're good money. But to say like you could just jump, out of your living room with internet research and just jump in Nigeria and have a good time, you're gonna have to be connected. In Colombia, they got people that will hook you up. You know what I'm saying? I think DC Born Rob has a guy that can show you around. Nigeria is no different. Once you get your feet wet and you understand how to move out there, then you can do it. I say for the first time, go with somebody, but it's always good to have an honest opinion because the brother Passport model was just painting it like a bed of roses, and that's not the case.
You
Nigeria is challenging, and I'm being nice. The other brother was being a little
everywhere
more.
is challenging. And
No,
I've been to before I moved to Nigeria. I came to visit Nigeria at least 5 times, and I came by myself. Nobody
hmm
helped me. I came by myself. I went to Atlanta to get the visa. I came by myself for 5 years straight before I moved there. I never had a problem. Never been robbed. Never a girl never took anything from me. I walked everywhere. I went everywhere. I took kekes. I took cabs. I took Ubers. I took Lyft. I stayed in hotels, Airbnbs. So I say if you want to come by yourself, you can. There are
Okay.
Ubers. There's Lyfts. There's what you call boats, which is cheaper. It's just like any other country. So you're saying I'm painting it rosy, but you came with a very, very negative tone, saying I'm lying, and I live here. I literally live here. I'm here right now. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, right now. So I
that's
would say
fine. But I'm
I
asking
would
you,
I
if I
I would
didn't lie, don't say the truth is negative. You came up here trying to compare Nigeria in the terms of in Nigeria and America. America is 10 times more safe than Nigeria.
I
We're not
disagree.
getting, you don't have banditry like that. You got things that happen in the hood, but at least on highways we can drive. At least we have potable water. I don't want to get into all the issues in Nigeria because then I sound like a hater. I'm
Let me
just
let me
saying
ask you
this.
one question. You don't think there's clean water in Nigeria? You just mentioned you have clean water in the U.S.
Do I think that there's places with clean water, but clean water and toilets are an issue in Nigeria? That's a fact.
How? Where?
Okay.
I've been here for a
How
year.
about
We've
this?
never
How
had.
about this? I'll give you an example, right? How Nigeria's infrastructure is lacking. It's Do you know about this stuff? Because
You
you've
keep
been there
going.
five
You
five times.
keep going from one negative thing to another. You've
No,
never
but
said
you're
anything
talking
positive.
about water. You said that. I'm telling you,
Okay,
that's what
guys.
it
Okay.
is.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me catch these super chats. And out of respect to the guest, he said he has to go. He gave us an hour, so I appreciate that. Sturdy underscore FBA with a $9.99 super chat says respect to BMT for letting Nat Measy on the panel considering their history. Respect. All right. Water under bridge, my brother. Water under bridge. All right. Stock A with a $4.99 super chat says, I'm a UK born Nigerian Igbo. Nigerian is safe, but the finesse is real. The women are easy with bodies, but it's a big game of chess in that country. So you got other Nigerians kind of in the middle here, Passport Mo. They're kind of in the middle.
I
All right.
like it.
You
We
know,
need a
you notice
dialogue.
everybody that's actually been there. Nobody
Yes,
is
have
saying that.
Yeah.
exactly.
Zoo Travel says Nigeria is Africa on expert mode. So everybody, I mean,
Facts.
I don't see the disagreement. I mean, y'all all kind of saying the same thing to everything. I think Nak is saying that it's not as rosy as you're painting it out to be, but
It's okay, but what I'm saying is, if we look at any other or any of the countries that we visit, really rosy. Like there's problems in all the countries. If you want to
well,
talk like,
I think Nak was saying that. I mean, he was giving it Nigeria a picture, and Nak was saying that it's more dangerous than what he's painting it out to be.
no, I get it, but I'll give you an example. Passport Model's been living there for a year. If some
Mhm.
of these obscure things that he's bringing up haven't even affected him, like he don't even know. A lot of people wouldn't even know, because if you travel there, that has nothing to do with you really. So it's like you can bring up some random negative things about a country. There's plenty of negative things about Nigeria. There's plenty of negative things about Ghana. You get what I'm saying? I just don't think it's really relevant to your experience traveling. I think you'll be safe. Like when you go around, it's not going to feel like when you in the hood, or even when you in certain countries like Colombia or somebody like that, somewhere like that, where you know it's a lot of violence, it's a lot of guns, it's a lot of people with this like gang mentality that might be checking you or trying to do something all the time. You don't have to think like that when you're in Nigeria, man. That's why I would say I understand the argument that it's safer. I could understand that argument, but when we want to talk about the infrastructure of the country, of course the infrastructure is lower. And then there's like over 200 million people in Nigeria. So you could talk about the experience that there's some extreme poverty in Nigeria. So you could bring up articles and talk about the experience of the lower half of Nigeria. You're coming into Nigeria with the American dollar. You get,
Mhm.
what's the rate right now? 1,000 naira for a dollar?
$1 to 1,450 naira.
1,004?
Yeah. Yes.
So now it's 1,004. You're
Yeah.
not going to be dealing with these people who can't get clean water and all. These aren't going to be issues for you. They're unfortunate things, but they have nothing to do with the travel experience. That's why I'm saying I disagree with. Though you're bringing these things up and it's not relevant to the discussion. That's my point.
I'll tell you why it's relevant. Because unless you're going and you're going to be 100% completely isolated from the population, it's absolutely relevant. If you're driving on highways, if you're going to certain neighborhoods, like the brother said, he goes by himself. If you do this by yourself, then it will be relevant. Information is always good to have, positive or negative. So when people keep focusing on the tone and not the message, that's why I say, tell me where I lied. If I'm not lying, then by default, you have to accept what I'm saying as far part of the whole package of Nigeria. But it was being sold as this paradise, and it's not a paradise. America isn't a paradise. I would tell people certain places like I would never even go in America, right? But there's no place in America that 160 people are getting deleted in one fell swoop. That literally doesn't happen. We have bad cops. They have, look, I'm going to tell you this, police brutality
Yeah, something's
Continent
wrong with your
is
audio.
way worse. Police brutality on the continent is way worse than even in America. You know what I'm saying? We just have to have a balanced thing. And if it's all rosy on your side, I came to get the balance, especially when you made the comparison to America. That's a horrible comparison as far as safety is concerned.
You
Horrible.
guys, my channel is based on Nigeria. So if any of you want to come to Nigeria, I can promise you a good time. Hang out with me in Lagos. I will promise you a good time. It is safer, a lot safer than the US because we don't have the guns on the street like there is in the US. There's a big no-no on regular people just having guns. You can go anywhere. You're black. Nobody
Sorry about
cares
that, family.
if you're American or British or whatever. You can have a good time. Nobody's chasing you around. You're not looking over your shoulder. And I could say that you would have a very good time. So if you're a passport bro, you want to come to Nigeria, I recommend it. You will have a good time. I don't want anybody to scare you. I've been here for over a year. I visited by myself. There's a lot of Americans that come here. There's a lot of Lebanese here with businesses. There's a lot of Chinese buying land. That's another thing when it comes to business perspective of it. It's easier to have a business here than the US. It's cheaper and you get to keep your property. You don't have to pay property taxes. You can pass it down to generations. This is what I'm trying to promote. I don't really dwell on the negative aspect of things because I know that I've done my research enough to know living here. I know it's safe enough for me to live. I have 24-hour light. I have water. I have clean water. I'm here and I'm on ground. So if any of you want to visit Nigeria, I promise you have a good time. And the dating aspect of it, some of the most beautiful black women in the entire planet live here. Whatever, however you want them, light skin, dark skin. Most of them are slim. Not too many single mothers here. So if you want to have fun, if you want to really visit,
It's frowned upon. It's really frowned upon. Single
yes,
motherhood. Yeah.
very because there's no child support system. Nobody can take half of your stuff. So all of that we have to take into like everybody's just focused on negative. I didn't even talk about half of the stuff, right? That you could benefit from coming to Nigeria. Because we want to focus on negative, which is the same with any country that you can go live or visit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me catch the super chats real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and end the show. Shout out to my man Daryl once again with $2 super chat. He asked, "Do you speak Igbo or other languages in Nigeria?"
I speak some Yoruba, but everybody speaks English here, so you know.
Okay, and I got another final super chat by Sean C2K with a $5 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. He says, Mufasa, who's the tour guide in Africa that's been doing that for African Americans for 4 years? What's his contact info? Do any of you do consultations?
Dynasty Amir. I do consultations as well.
Okay. Do you want to drop your email in the chat so they can reach out to you?
Yes, of course. You can also go to my channel, The Passport Model.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, since he asked me directly, the dude's name is Dynasty Amir. His YouTube is search for Uhuru.
Right. Shout out to Dynasty, man. Shout out to Dynasty. Shout out to my man Dynasty.
Good dude. Real good
dude.
He
is. He is. Dynasty is cool. I think we had some little beef back in the day. I don't remember.
No, you was just talking about he be coming at the Passportbros.
Oh yeah.
Tricking off.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Dynasty, man. It's all good. I got love for all my brothers, man. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the show, family. I appreciate the guest, the Passport Model, coming on, giving us his time and telling us about Nigeria, man, putting Nigeria on the map. Well, it's already on the map, but I appreciate you because most guys aren't, familiar with actually traveling to Nigeria. They go to other parts of Africa. But I do appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you also
very much.
Participating on my other panel because you've been in my other panels too.
Yes, since when I was in the Matrix.
Right.
Shout out to you, man. Download the app, y'all. Download the app.
Download the app. Most definitely. Download the app. Matter of fact, let me play a little outro commercial. And shout out to you, Nak Meezy. I still got heat for you though, brother.
It's all right, brother.
Look, man,
this is internet stuff.
Atlanta niggas always be my bad. See, I'm getting
Nah, don't put your money. Yeah, put all your money on yoga, brother. And brothers, I got love for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It just has to be balances.
Yo,
You
come
should
back
go
to
to
Lagos.
Nigeria.
Knack, come back to Lagos. I promise you're
Give
gonna
it a
fall in
shot,
love.
Nat.
Bro, I like it,
Come
man.
back.
I like it.
Come
I just
back.
like it. Yo, bro, I'm gonna tell you real quick because I know y'all gotta end the show. The first time I went to the continent, I hated it, bro. And I went to Ghana for the first time. I hated it because I was looking at it through American eyes, right? Once I accepted it for what it was, then I'm like, okay, I fucks with it. I mess with it. That's what I'm saying. Just we give a real thing and then let brothers figure it out. I never tell people not to go. If I'm trolling somebody, I'll tell them not to go, whatever. But on some real shit, if y'all gonna go, rock with Dynas and there's some other brothers that's good with it. But I'll be back. And I ain't gonna take no more of your time. Salute
Hit me
BMT,
up.
salute
Y'all
all
hit
the
me
brothers
up.
from the channel.
BMT, come to Nigeria. You invited. Y'all all invited. Pull
I
up.
pull up, man. I pull up. All right, fellas. Peace.
Oh man, I don't get my closing
Oh,
statement.
hold on. My bad, bro.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
was
Go
going.
ahead.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, don't let the negativity with Nigeria throw you guys off. You know, you have people like Wu came on the platform. He's in Igbo, and there was a civil war, and there's some like marginalization of the Igbo community. So you'll run into people like him here in the States and like abroad, and they'll give you kind of a bias understanding, which I understand his grievance, right? But that will not reflect your passport traveling experience. So you have to go to the right people, go to people who visit and ask them, go to people who can give you the actual information to actually go. Because
Go to
I
people that
went,
live here. You know?
yes, people are actually there because man, it changed my life going to Nigeria. And I know a lot of people say go to Ghana and stuff like that. And Ghana's fine. I've been to Ghana too. I went to Ghana during the year of return. But Nigeria is a much better experience for me. Naknizi brought up a good point saying that you should go and have someone kind of take you around. I don't say that for safety. I say that so you can get everything you want to get out of the experience. They'll be
Yes.
able to take you to the right places. So, go to do that so you can get everything out of the experience. And also, too, it's funny. We don't have time to go into it, but I always joke and say that Lagos is not Nigeria. But go outside of Lagos. Go outside of Lagos. Like one of my the best experiences I had was going into Yoruba land, like deep into Yoruba land. And there's a museum in Abeokuta where you can actually go and they'll tell you about some of the Yoruba civil wars that led to our capture and us being sold over here. You can actually learn about your roots. You can actually learn about the ethnic histories of these places. You can go and talk to Igbos who are still practicing their traditions and talk to them about their culture. I had a friend, I told him, I said, man, I want you to take me to like an older, wise Yoruba man who can tell me, answer some questions I had. He took me into the bush. We went. I was staying at the chief. It was a chief. I was staying at his house for like a week, just kicking it, seeing him go, seeing his son do rituals and things like that, and interact as a priest in the community. Is like these are experiences you're not gonna get that going and just tricking off in the DR. You can't get this anywhere. This is a life-changing experience, and you guys got to remember, this is our roots, it's our heritage. So you're connecting with that, so don't let the fact that people talk bad about it throw you off from going there. This is something that I think we should all experience. So I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, shout out to brother Passport Model, hit him up, and
Shout out
yeah,
to you.
yep.
All right, man.
Shout out to
Appreciate it, guys.
BMT. Thank you, BMT.
Peace.
Peace.
When you never have a problem with the passport, what's your opinion? We have a problem with it, black women as a reason to go over to take advantage of women who are not financially stable. You go over here to find somebody who's going to treat you like a king.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.